The time has come for the lioness to tell her own story.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, hey, the lion's voice. Rastafari.
Then now my king man and his situation where he into Rastafari, and you might say, well, the stereotypical narrative as these men want to exploit the woman and just want to have them under subjugation and control them by giving them this philosophy of Rastafari where, they in a more controlled environment, which is not true. Right? That is a stereotype. That opened a door for me to explore who I was as a woman and my initiation into womanhood. Right? So that is why most times the same Rastafari might be, it might be a kind of misogynistic space because in order for a woman to enter Rastafari, you have to be through a man. But sometimes the men are the leaders in that particular space to allow you to come in within yourself to find the consciousness within yourself that you need to grow, and then it flourishes from there. Right?
Yes.
So
Leadership does not mean
a lot of
domination.
that's correct, not domination, guidance, direction.
Haile.
Right?
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the Evil Days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimebe is giving birth in a place called Ergersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in death. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tafari, meaning one to be feared or respected. Tafari's father, Ras Tafari, is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras Tafari is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, he is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras Tafari knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Tafari would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwasi Bonsu's book, Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
We have a powerful empress out of Trinidad. She is the secretary for the Empress Men in Rising collective that are sisters in Trinidad that are working. You saw Queen Omega as part of that collective, Empress Sharon, Empress Dion. We had we've been featuring ones from this collective. They're doing powerful work. She's also a member of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Also, an expecting mother. So get ready for the glow. If you have your sunglasses, you might have to put on your sunglasses because the sister is glowing. So help I to give a warm lion pride welcome to Empress Ferekete. Greetings.
Greetings, and His Imperial Majesty, Empress Hattie, Empress Menenai, perfect balance, sun rising, blessed love.
Give thanks, and give thanks for your patience. We're building the plane as we fly, as they say. You know what I mean? So everything we just test out, and I really do give thanks. Before we get into our topic, we have a custom here on the Lion Voice Network. We're gonna ask the eye to step into our iritical time machine and to take us to the moment of your birth. Tell us when you were born, where you were born, and your journey to Rastafari.
Wow. So I didn't think it would be personal, but of course I would love to share my journey. My journey began when I was, I would say, 18, 19 years old. And funny enough, it actually started with my present kingman, my husband, Jabari Ramsey, right? And
Big
at
up the
that
king, man.
time, I was in
Yeah,
sixth form. Big up the kingman. So at that time, I was in sixth form and I was learning about, Pan Africanism. I was learning about Black Power movements, and it piqued my interest. Also, at that time, I started smoking herb a little heavy. So through that, we ended up, in the same space. And through that experience, smoking herb, right, we end up sharing knowledge and reasoning. And he gave me my first, I could say, Black conscious book pertaining to Rastafari, which was the speeches of Marcus Garvey, a big black book, very big, like a Bible. I never forget. I didn't even get to finish read it cover to cover because at that time, I was in school, so on mornings and evenings. But that book changed my perspective and it also piqued my interest to want to learn more. So I started reading. So I was in Form 6, so you have access to books in the library, you have more free time. So I started reading whatever I could find. Barry Chavans, started reading um His Imperial Majesty, his speeches, his works, the autobiography. I also had a lot of influence from my father as well. He plays a major role in my life. Big up daddy too,
yes,
right?
big up daddy, big
So
up
from a
daddy.
young age, apart from my experiences in sixth form, apart from my experiences in sixth form, I wasn't really aware of it. But from a young age, my father was planting a seed in me mentally. So every time he would take us book shopping, right, we would go to the bookstore as a thing. That was a thing we used to do, go to the mall, and we go to the bookstore. My favorite thing to do with him up to this day, right? And apart from my novels that I like to get, your little romance, drama, fiction, you know, I always had to get a history book. So I get in a book at once, but I have to get a history book as well. That was his requirement. And from a young age, he was introducing me to more Pan African and Afrocentrism work, right? So I was reading Capitalism and Slavery at 14,
Okay.
15. And he
Big
bought
up Daddy
me Black
Williams.
Jacobins.
Yes.
Big up Daddy. He bought me Black Jacobins by C.L.R. James. At that
Okay.
time, that book for me was too much. But when I look back now, I was like, this man knew what he was doing, right? He was making a rebel from a young age because this is the revolutionary literature that you're supposed to be reading. But at that age, I wasn't really appreciative of it because I wasn't aware of how powerful it is, right?
Yes.
And I still have books up to this day where I could just open and reference. And these were expensive books as well, right? And apart from that, he used to always talk about, how to keep yourself as a black queen. And at that time, I wasn't really trying to hear that. I wanted to wear the weaves and do my nails and be the aesthetic black girl that, the hyper consumerism culture, perpetuates. I wanted to be that because I didn't have an opportunity to be that. So when the opportunity presented itself, that is what I wanted to be because that is what the women in my family, how they presented themselves. I wasn't from a Rastafari family, but my father is very Afrocentric. So as a teenager growing up, he kept putting in my head, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is how you're supposed to carry yourself. He never, berated me or, you know, tried to bring me down about the things that I was interested in at that time, even though I was straying away from the principalities of Pan Africanism and carrying
Okay.
yourself in a particular way. But he kept putting the message in my head. This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you're supposed to say. This is how you're supposed to act as a young lady. And
Powerful.
eventually it stuck. And that is basically who I am now. I am a reflection of my father pouring into me. And then I align myself with people based on my interest because I would already have the knowledge. So by the time I was able to sit down with my kingman and reason, I already knew certain things, right? So we were
Okay.
able to meet each other intellectually, and it grew from there. But he, instead of Pan Africanism, he steered me into a different direction, which is Rastafari.
She's like the flowers in my garden, and her heart has never hardened. And she give me loving in the morning. Babylon, you are go far without no warning. Black woman, I said I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could be my children's mother. But no struggle, so we both could help each other. And then I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could be my children's mother. But no struggle, so we both could help each other. Started in the village, now we in the city. Journey where we have together, everybody see. Spent a little time out in captivity. Babylon, their plan was to destroy the family. Still I want you to bring a child for me. Maybe in the spring when birds are sing lovely. Maybe we could plan to have a summer baby. I can be the man that you depend on. Put the pen to the paper, made a love song. Babylon, they separated us for so long, and the reason that they hated us was so wrong. Still the most High, he created us, we so strong. Then same Kushite and the Dogon. Love your melanin, no follow for them program. Black woman, me not go pass on you for no one. No, no one, that's my slogan. Black woman, I said I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could be my children's mother. But no struggle, so people could help each other. Then I wanna be your lover, and I don't want any other. You alone, I could be my children's mother. But no struggle, so people could help each other. She's like the oxygen in my flame. Loving where we have nobody can contain. Love so powerful, survive shackle and chain. Love it cross the ocean way before planes. Love survive them torture, rape and dear pain. When one escape, then the other get blame. That's why I never put no one above you. That's why I'm not ashamed to say I love you. That's why them dirty Babylon, they judge you. Feel the power when I kiss and when I hug you. Hold you for hours when I think about how they grudge you. I'm a lion, so I never gonna bug you.